The Tangent Egg podcast is aimed at a mature audience. It contains themes that are not appropriate for all listeners. It's important to note that we are not experts. We routinely have no idea what we're talking about and are just three idiots sitting around a table. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Tangent Egg podcast. I'm Seth, and as always with me is Swoosh and Jondo.
Hi.
Hello. And first up, we're going to talk about some weird things we found, such as scientists genetically modifying tobacco to make cocaine.
Yay!
Which, like, if there's something they needed to do, like, sure, get rid of tobacco, get rid of cigarettes. What, replace them with cocaine? I'm waiting.
It sounds like the logical progression, though, doesn't it? Like, we can't get to tobacco anymore. Cocaine. Next upper.
But that's the thing, though. Like, like cocaine's pretty fucked. You really shouldn't be taking cocaine. But for some reason, I understand why they did it. It's mostly one of those things where scientists have managed to pick apart a genetic thing and be like, can we make something else do it? Like when they made rats glow. By finding that bioluminescence thing.
When they produce yeast that could make acid. Or THC. Or any other number of drugs. But I'm waiting for him to, like, sit back and roll a nice, thick stogie and then snort that motherfucker.
No, what happened is, like, one of the guys running the tobacco industry was like, my cocaine dealer, he just charges so much. I'm going to funnel that money into R&D and turn my tobacco into cocaine. Larry was like, Jim, you can't do it. It's insane. Like, just you watch me.
There'd be a whole different energy with Mr. Lewinsky. You're like, oh, yeah!
What would they call it, though? Like, they couldn't call it cocaine. That's marketing's already tainted. Like, cocaine?
That works.
I mean, the point of this, shock horror, wasn't for general people to take cocaine.
No, it's a bunch of rats to mess with them.
It's possible. Now that everyone knows it's possible...
The actual point of this was so that medical research could be done on cocaine without actually having to go and find, poppy plants?
Cocoa
plants. I'm thinking of heroin. Instead of having to go get cocoa plants to do research on cocaine, they can just get some of this. And
it doesn't produce genuine, pure cocaine. It just produces the same chemical that the cocoa plants produce.
Yeah.
It's the active ingredient.
The fact that they were able to pick it apart in the cocoa plant at all, since it's been for a long time, they didn't know how cocoa plants made it.
Yeah.
It's just a cool thing for science.
Yeah. I'm all for science doing more things.
Well,
just
actually, we're not
with
always in for science doing more things, because the San Francisco PD are doing things with science stuff that's probably bad.
I mean, like, is that more science, or is that just mad engineering?
Well... Is this a step on the way to a RoboCop future, not a Terminator future?
No, first one, then the other.
Oh, a stepping stone, right? We'll go RoboCop first.
Baby steps.
I mean, RoboCop still included the Ed.
It did. But I'd say that's the step after RoboCop towards a Terminator future. So, anyway...
okay, just looking at this thing, I'm pretty sure it's more the Ed. So, basically, the gist is the San Francisco Police Department is currently trying to push a policy through that will allow them to shoot suspects with robots.
Which, like, we're finally going to see an advertisement for the SFPD. We want first-person shooter experience. Like, you need to bring your own controller to work. You can turn up slacks, whatever. You sit in front of a monitor, bring your Xbox controller. Let's go shoot some bad guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's some definite things that can be done with, like, against this. The whole thing of, like, what happens if it's, cops just see that as pushing a button now, as opposed to pulling an actual trigger and, that can
like a soldier
themselves to...
Well, I mean, it's been a long-standing thing in the military, particularly with drone pilots. The fact that you're sitting in some air-conditioned bunker a bajillion miles away...
on the other side of the planet.
all the fucking harm you do is just through a screen and hit, shoot, whatever.
Yeah.
The desensitization and distance of combat is already a big question within the military.
Yeah.
And now the police want to start doing it?
Like, a lot of the police haven't yet figured out not to choke someone to death, let alone, maybe I shouldn't press this button and shoot someone. It's
exactly. Like, half the cops that are issues are, like, some of the older ones anyway, so I can just imagine they're going to try and boot up their phone one day and accidentally shoot a neighbor. Like, it's time to go to work, and boot it all up, and oh god, I've shot another dog, and this time it wasn't on purpose.
There's an old TV show, Better Off Ted. I don't know if you've seen it or not.
Oh,
but there's an episode in that where none of the technology recognizes the African American staff of the company. Yeah. That would be funny as fuck, because then they'd have no targets. We need something to shoot. We can't see anyone.
What are they going to do, though? They're just going to have, like, a 9mm Glock hanging from a drone? Just...
Well, I'm going to assume it's probably
AR-15.
Well, they've been doing...
That was one of those, like, bomb disposal robots with a trigger. Like,
I mean, again, the military has armed drones.
Yeah.
But again, this is the military. Yeah. However much you want to give or hate on the American military, at least it's, like, at a level where a drone like that makes some level of sense. And they're in specialty units, and they're trained super well. Like you said, man.
This is Joe Bloggs down the street who is already maybe semi-domestic violent and not fucking all there because he's already dealing with shit and not getting fucking support for it. Now you're going to give that kind of robot with a fucking machine gun strapped to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. This can only end well.
Oh, yeah. Surely.
Like... Whoever is trying to push this through must have some kind of weird stock in a drone company or something. Like, I swear.
Mean, you don't even need that. Just look at the rampant militarization of the American police.
Oh, yeah. Any excess
they
military
stock... They normally get the hand-me-downs.
Well, they do.
They normally get the hand-me-downs from it.
As soon as they write off stock, it goes, oh, who are we going to get rid of this to? Police want to buy it? Let's sell it all to them. They buy freaking
Maybe that's
APCs.
why they're pushing it through. Like, the first round of these drones is, like, becoming obsolete and needs to be retired. It's like, fuck, we've got to sell them.
The Gen 1 twitchy drones. The Johnny 5 is semi-alive. But, like, you go to work and, I might spawn in as a drone today. That's just fucking screwy. But you can do that.
Or is that what they're going to do when someone calls in sick? All right, man, fire up your drone.
Yeah, you're working from home today, mate. Sorry.
Sneezes and accidentally shoots someone.
We're going to check your KD at the end of the day.
Well, moving on from that.
PTFO, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, moving on from that, let's get on to some gaming news, and we're going to start with something I don't like, which is the upcoming, and I am very excited for, Callisto Protocol has de novo.
Yay!
Yeah.
Should we explain de novo in case people don't know?
Okay, so de novo is an anti-piracy piece of software, but it is well known, like within the community of gamers, that it will negatively impact the performance of the game that is applied to. It is not a secret. It is well documented. Games run worse with de novo.
Yeah, it's not a one-off. Oh, this might be bad. It's a don't. Like, how the fuck does this company still exist? Like,
they must have like a really good salesperson.
They have to.
They must suck a hell of a dick. Like, really. Like, they don't just cut the balls. They got a finger around the back as well.
Like, they have one guy who must be like, earning all the money.
Oh, yeah.
For that company. Just, fuck it, we'll sell it.
Either that or he's got some pretty fucking damning evidence.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to have something in the pocket for that. I don't know how they keep getting put onto games at all.
Well, it's interesting, like, several months after release, like, it's still buggy, and, we're now removing de novo. We've also fixed all the bugs, and now our game works properly. Like, that's not a fucking coincidence.
Well, look, the weird thing is, like, DRM in general just doesn't fucking work, and I don't know why we're sticking with it as a thing.
Okay, so part of it is companies want to maintain... They treat their games like they do movie studios do. That first week is the only thing they truly care about.
Yeah.
What were the sales like? Were they high?
Yeah.
Now, DRM... while it's almost always cracked within like a week or two, it maintains that weak presence where they can't be pirated, and that they might get a couple more sales to make it look nicer. But it just hurts the customers who actually bought the fucking game. It doesn't hurt the pirated people, because the pirated people just wait.
Yeah. It's like the whole thing of like anytime you were watching DVDs and the whole thing is like, don't pirate things. Like, I'm not pirating things, I bought this fucking DVD. Like, why are you telling me that? Why are you punishing me with this unskippable ad?
Now stop while I use DVD rip to make a digital copy of my fucking movie.
Hey man, if you bought the DVD, that shit's legal.
You fucking know.
Yeah. You're allowed to back up your own things.
For that, trying to get the sales for the first fucking week of it, after the first day of it, it's already online. This game runs like shit. So that's already affecting your sales for the next couple of days. So why the fuck would you do it? Like, just throw the bastard out there.
Particularly, as you said, in a couple months, they're probably going to patch it out. Clearly showing that it's not good.
Yeah. Or, like, the one thing that blockchain could be good for, a fucking encryption key. This is your encryption key for this game. There you go. Here's all your fucking sales. It'd still be dicky and it would still be abused as fuck. But it's one possible way of fucking doing it. Like,
well, that's the problem. Like, no matter what they do, piracy will continue. There's no stopping them. Like, you could, force everything to shut down, but they'd still find a way. They'd carrier pigeon each other the files for this thing. They will find a way.
Yeah.
Like,
the thing that perplexes me is that there are companies that have shown that it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I know they're not the world's greatest darling right now, but look at CD Projekt Red. They launched The Witcher 3 with no DRM. Guess what? One of their best-selling games ever.
Yeah.
Hell, there's a thing where they legitimately, on a torrent site, put up the patch you needed to fix a major bug in the game, and just asked, look guys, have the patch, we want you to have the best experience you can, but maybe buy it.
Yeah.
They didn't treat the piracy like this horrible plague. They just let their own customer base buy the fucking product. And they did it again with Cyberpunk.
Yeah, CDPR really did fuck up with Cyberpunk, but they have dumped a lot of time into it, and it's actually quite fucking playable now. So if anyone hasn't, go out and give it a go. I really enjoy Cyberpunk now. They have fixed it.
It now functions. That's what we wanted.
Yeah.
My point being, though, they didn't put DRM on either one. And they sold gangbusters. Yeah. So, clearly the DRM didn't matter.
No, and they're now about to release a new next-gen patch for Witcher 3, which I'm actually quite looking forward to.
So, DRM clearly isn't the be-all and end-all, so how about we stop? Or at least stop using de novo.
Yeah.
De novo is not doing anyone any favors except de novo.
Yeah. They're only out to make, either give some company money to keep their fucking name out there to screw a fucking another game over. Like, I don't know any other way that... can't be any company that contacts, hello, de novo, I'd like you to screw my game over. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look
no one is actively contacting them.
No.
I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be going anywhere anytime soon, though, because it's also coming for, what is it? Fuck, where is it? I'm pretty sure it was the new Resident Evil is also going to have it.
Yeah. Though, games like Gotham Knights, who accidentally patched it out for 3 days, and then, we need to turn it back on, but here's a copy of the game without de novo that actually runs properly.
Yeah. Again, showing that de novo's doing you nothing.
Yeah.
It's not helping.
If anything, it hurts your reputation.
I would not be surprised if there are some people who won't pick up the Callisto Protocol because of de novo, or wait until de novo gets removed.
Yeah, until the de novo removal patch comes out. Yeah.
So, moving on from de novo, let's talk about other stupid shenanigans from companies and the just slap fight that is Microsoft and Sony right now.
No, it's not even really a slap fight. It's a, no, I'm worse. No, I'm worse. It's
like a race to the fucking bottom for them at the moment. It's very odd.
Yeah, it really, really is.
There's an old Tintin comic from a fucking lot of years ago, and they go to an island, and there ends up being UFOs and shit. But the two bad guys get stuck with a truth serum, and they're both trying to compete with, well, I stole a candy bar when I was 3 years old. Well, I stole money from my mother when I was 2 years old. And they just have a fight of, no, I'm worse, and I'm worse. And that's all I can see when I read any of this.
Yeah.
Look, there's a lot of articles. We're not really going to pick any one because they're all just as stupid as each other.
Yep.
A lot of things like, Sony being like, oh, but after they get the monopoly, Microsoft might raise the cost on consoles, which Sony already did.
Yeah.
Sony
they might do what we just did.
If Sony gets Call of Duty, our user base won't be big anymore. Fuck off, you have plenty of other games. I bought your console, and I don't even play Call of Duty on it.
No.
Yeah.
So I'm not even a metric for that, and I'm a buyer.
Yeah, and there's already almost double the amount of fucking PS4 or 5 sales to what the fucking relative Xbox console is. Like, that's just...
At this point, if Xbox wants to win the console war, they just need to have a decent supply chain, and then they win everything. Like, you can actually get them.
I've said it before, I don't think Microsoft's in the console war anymore. I'm pretty sure they've moved on from it to the service war, which they are winning hands down.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even need to release the next console. Just put Game Pass on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, as Game Pass as a direct competitor to PS Plus on their console, no one will fucking subscribe to PS Plus.
Guaranteed. PS Plus is absolute garbage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, there's other subscription services I've seen that are just like, these are trash compared to Game Pass. Game Pass is winning this fight hands down without trying.
It's not a fight, it's a slaughter at this point. It's like, just stop, he's already dead.
It's me jumping into a boxing ring with Mike Tyson. It's just like, I'm a dead man.
Yeah. You just don't know it yet.
And I think one of the other articles was basically Microsoft going, yeah, but Sony has such better games than us, so it doesn't matter.
It's like, but all of our games are really shit. Like, well, yeah, they have been, sort of. But still.
But you're getting
you're not wrong, but...
but you're buying up a bunch of studios that make really cool shit, so, you know, quit your bitching.
Like, you can to a point, you can sort of see where this has come from Sony's point of view. Like, but they're going to take it away from us like they did with Starfield or any other fucking Bethesda product. Like, they do have a history of going, it's ours now. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still look at it and go, well, Sony did that too.
Oh, yeah.
They have plenty of exclusives that would be great multi-platform titles.
Or
have been in positions to go that way, and they haven't.
Or that were launched as multi-platform titles when they were first announced, and then 6 months down the line, no.
Yeah.
Or they had special content. Let's face it, part of the reason they're shitty about Call of Duty possibly going to Microsoft is they've been getting exclusive content.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just shitty that someone's taking their toys away.
But no, the shit that someone else is doing the bullshit they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's our loophole. You can't use that.
We paid exclusive rights for that. No, that's our spot.
No touch. It's ours.
Only look, no touch.
No touch, only bite.
But I mean, like it feels particularly weird because Sony's been making, like, not a strong play, but they have been pushing into the PC space, so it's like, you're already looking to expand. You clearly don't need Call of Duty. You're basically about to start dumping your content onto a much larger pool of people who want to buy.
Yeah. Let's face it, like, the console wars are basically not a thing anymore. It's only young kids who are like, no, Sony is better. It's like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Let's play games.
We lived through the real console wars, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
we saw the horrors.
Even Activision's threatening for legal action if this doesn't go ahead. Like, it's both sides of the thing. Please, I want to buy this company. Please let them buy me. No.
Yeah.
Like, because we want exclusive.
We don't want you to because it'll hurt our profits. Like, that's a you problem. Fuck off.
I still love that as Brazil's response. It's not our job to police what companies do. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not here to look after one company. Nintendo isn't saying shit because Microsoft said we want to put Call of Duty on Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, like, Nintendo's going, yes, sure, buy it. Go for gold. Put that multi-billion-dollar product on our console. We'll sell more consoles. Go for gold.
Yeah.
Particularly because Nintendo has a real lack of, I don't know how to put it, essentially violent content.
Well, games aimed at more of a
mature audience.
Mature audience. Like, they do have some. They do have Bayonetta and all that kind of stuff. But
we say mature audience, but most COD players are 12. So
well, see, that's why I was like grasping at like what to call it, but it's like really
an immature audience.
It boils down to
or immature
Sony,
audience.
They don't do games that do real violence. They
really don't.
Like Bayonetta, cool, you're shooting and beating up things, but none of it feels real.
No.
They're all for fantasy violence and that kind of stuff.
But even then, they don't tend to show blood or make anything explicit. Like, you can play a Dragon Quest game on Switch. Yeah. But, it's all exaggerated swipes and no one bleeds and it doesn't matter. Yeah. They're like, I hate to call it that, but like the sort of like core gamer audience is missing on Nintendo. So I can absolutely see why if Nintendo was like, oh, you want to put the work into putting that on the Switch? All right, fine.
Like,
they were always a family-oriented company. Like, we make family games and party games and that kind of stuff.
But now it's sort of become known that first-party Nintendo is like that, second-party Nintendo is like that, third-party Nintendo, that could be fucking anything.
But they may be missing a lot of core thing, but they've got an absolute lock on the fucking fanboy market.
Yeah.
Like, release a fucking broken Pokemon game, but holy fuck does that thing sell.
I want to complain, but I did buy it recently. So.
10 million
I'm hoping they
patch
it.
Like, a friend of mine completely admitted to the buggy nature of it and that it's very immersion breaking, but he still played it for 40 hours.
So, yeah. Good luck to them. They can get away with that shit.
Things will break, but at some point they will eventually put some kind of patch or something out for it, I guess.
Again, I don't know if it's patchable.
Yeah.
I think it's a hardware limitation.
Maybe.
So, like, what, are they going to release another one on the same fucking console? It's like, this one's not broken. But...
no, what they'll do is, remember when we used to have, like, what was it, gold, silver, and then, like, the middle ones, whatever they were, or ruby, sapphire, and emerald?
Yeah.
They'll just bring up the middle one between the two. It's like, oh, yes, no, this is the one that works.
I mean, quite frankly, they need to abandon the two-game design anyway. It's really archaic at this point.
Just make it all in one. I know the whole thing of like, oh, they want to emphasize trade and that kind of stuff with having exclusives, but it's like, guys, come on. We know you just want two people, like, or one person to buy two games.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And people don't play it like that. Like, that made sense back when you had to be in person.
Yeah.
Now that you can do everything online, it's stupid. It doesn't matter.
But they really like holding on to old systems that don't work in favor of neglecting ones that do. But.
Yeah. Pokemon's Pokemon. Go play Temtem.
Pretty much. Mostly I've gotten Pokemon just because I'm going home for Christmas and I won't have my PC, so I'm going to have something to play.
Yeah, that is very fair. I can't think of anything. I mean, you could have bet Kirby.
That's true.
Like, the next Pokemon game, there has to be, like, Pokemon Missing No.
Yeah.
The missing Pokemon, the glitched fucking Pokemon. It has to be there, and it's just two different glitched Pokemon arts. That's it. They do
even
420 different glitch Pokemon.
The main story is them finding out they live in a simulation, so they realize they're in a game.
The whole plot is literally the Matrix.
Yeah. Done. We're in. They really need to just reboot that world, I think. Just start Pokemon afresh.
I don't think it's necessarily a reboot. I mean, let's face it, every game is basically a reboot.
Yeah.
I think the problem is that they just need to go back, look at some of the ideas that were interesting and actually good, and bother to expand, not just create bastardized versions of the same thing. I still am annoyed they abandoned Megas.
Yeah.
I think the Megas were a great idea. You collect an item, you get a one-term transformation, and it transforms literally into something new. So you don't have to come up with a whole... instead of 150 new Pokemon, at worst, you've got to do, 52 Megas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier, and you've already got a design flow from the evolutions of the Pokemon to make the Mega out of.
Yeah,
I like the regional
blow
variants
it up a little
of
bit.
Pokemon.
Just increase XYZ axis. Done.
Yeah. I like the different variants of Pokemon from different places. That is fun. I like that.
I mean, but at the same time, some of those regional variants don't feel like variants. They feel like different things, so it doesn't make sense. Like the Lowen Executor.
Yeah.
It's like, no. The fact that this thing is a completely different type of tree and is now also a dragon, that's not an Executor. That's a different Pokemon.
Got dragon status before Charizard did.
Whereas, like, the Alolan variant of, say, the Dugtrio that had the wavy hair to represent the way the magma and shit works on islands. That
I
was a cool idea.
That was just a Hansen reference.
I know, right? But that's what technically the actual reference was. It was this gold wavy shit that happens.
Yeah. I called mine Umbop.
Or the different growlers they've done, where they just give it a different element and then change up the color palette.
Yeah.
Those aren't bad as regionals. Going like the Viking Meowth was really dumb.
That was weird.
Yeah, I wasn't that into that.
But I like the idea of different types making a different kind of Pokemon. Like the different. I'm a massive fan of like Growlithe and Arcanine. I always have one in the team, but now I can have multiples.
Yes,
I can make the dog sled.
I'm still waiting for him to release the stone to turn Eevee to a ghost type.
It's just a normal rock.
Yeah, it is. It's just a brick.
Enough. Yeah,
but I wanted a game. It's like, this is a ghost type stone that you're just going to beat.
They've already got it. It's the hard stone. They just have to use it effectively.
It's super effective.
You combine it with a pillowcase and then just whoop. It's a ghost type now.
It's a sack with a rock. You just throw it over a bridge.
Oh, fuck, man. I think we've gotten a little too dark here.
We haven't even got as dark as the Pokedex entries for certain birds.
No, we really haven't.
I will admit that.
One of them kidnaps children and no one is talking about it.
It doesn't just kidnap them. Like, it has hands, so it can grip them and float away.
Yeah.
Well, where's the skull of its dead mother? That's just fucking screwy.
Yeah. The first Divergent thing of Pokemon, that was fun.
Yeah.
Oh god,
anyway.
There is some dark things in that series.
Right, so I'm going to transition us away before this gets into really maybe we shouldn't publish this. And let's go talk about Overwatch being stupid.
Oh wait, we're going to talk about Brazil being going against stupid.
No, that's later.
Oh, excellent.
We're doing Overwatch first,
and then betas after Overwatch. Hey.
Yeah. Ooh, tease for later in the episode.
Spoilers!
But basically...
Oh shit, I know we have a system.
Tracer is currently bugged. There's supposed to be some damage fall off for her under 20 meters. It doesn't happen. And the company doesn't seem like they're going to fix it at all. Yep. They have stated they have no intention of pulling her right now.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that's because she's the box art.
Yeah.
Half the reason Symmetra was so overpowered at one point is one of the big producers of it played Symmetra. So we need to nerf Symmetra. Like, fuck off, she's my main. It's like,
But if you're literally a step out of 20 meters, you need 3 magazines to drop someone or more.
Yeah.
If you one step
everyone else
within,
has drop off.
It's 1 magazine.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking difference for one fucking step.
Especially for a highly mobile character like Tracer.
Friggin' oath. If you can get in quick, dump a mag, and fuck off again, you could wipe a team real fucking quick.
Oh, yeah. And she is. That's the terrifying part.
But
I...
They removed May from the game because they didn't want to ice wall breaking things, and then released deals, microtransactions for her while she wasn't even fucking playable.
Yeah.
I mean, and they released, when they brought in Torbjorn and Bastion... almost like something like in the same week, they got pulled again because they were too broken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just this shit's fucked. Like I understand that it's a game that they want to balance, but you don't seem to be trying at all.
But that's the thing. They're not leaving them in long enough for a meta to evolve. Because that's what used to happen with the first Overwatch. They bring someone in, and that fucking character would dominate until you find its natural counter. And then you learn.
Have they even really developed? They obviously haven't just cut and copied the fucking code for these fucking characters. They've gone through and tried to rebalance them for a whole new thing, so they can do whatever the fuck they want with. So I don't even think they've gone through it and tried to make a direct counter for specific characters. They've just gone, fuck it, let's make a gun do this much damage from this range.
Well, the thing is, do you know who was a great counter for Bastion? May. You pop a wall and it just gives you enough time to get around. They took away the character who was meant to counter the next release.
They took her out after Bastion got pulled.
Oh, that's right, fair.
And they took her out because you get to parts of the map you weren't supposed to.
You can always do that.
Yeah.
It was half the point of the wall. Fucking useless.
Look, it's because Blizzard wants a very specific competitive environment. Every time they see something that doesn't suit that's people breaking out, they do this. And let's face it, that's what led to the rise and dominance of GOAT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone had to play GOAT because it was literally the only thing that was supported.
This thing with broken character, it's been known since the start. Any of the professionals that played made like knew and noticed immediately, like, holy fuck, we can dominate with this character. And it's only that more normies started getting and play, going, oh fuck, like there's a wait time to play this character, but you can fucking dominate with it. That it's sort of blown up a bit, and they don't want to fix it. That's just fucking screwy. That's just cutting off your nose to spite your face.
As far as I can tell, they don't want to fix it. Not necessarily because they yes, I think it's because it's the box character, but I also think it's because they've automatically admitted that if they fix it, she'll drop out of A or B tier character choices.
Yeah.
And they don't want their, let's face it, face of the franchise to not be a highly chosen character. They
don't want their Pikachu to fall off the game art, essentially.
Yeah, they've pushed Tracer so hard as the face of the game. She's been on the boxes for the first game. She's pushed as the main character, essentially, for the franchise.
Yeah.
They can't let her drop.
This is like the first spreading of the EA curse. So, like, whenever they release a new sports game, like the UFC, they had Ronda Rousey on the cover of that, and then the very next fight, she gets knocked the fuck out. Like,
yeah.
Or they put a certain footballer on the player on the front of any fucking sports team. Within the next couple of weeks, they get taken out of the comp for the rest of the year. Like, yay, I'm on the cover. Oh, fuck, I'm on the cover. Jesus.
Yeah.
Something's going to happen.
At this point.
Like, and this is spreading now. So now it's, Trace is getting fucked up by the EA curse.
Well, that's the thing. She's not getting fucked, which is the problem.
No, but she should be. Like, they should fix the fucking problem. It's an obvious fucking problem. Like, this is part of the reason why no one wants to play support. Everyone wants to play fucking, like, I believe she's the DPS character.
Yes, she is.
So, there's already a fucking, like, between 20 and 35 minute wait time to play fucking DPS and tank.
Yeah.
This is why.
Yeah.
Like, broken characters.
And like, I used to main nothing but tanks in that game for a fair while, but just their support characters got nerfed even further, and I don't get it. Like, if you're going to want to push people towards that character, make them more powerful, make them more useful, so people choose them. But no, we're gonna just let them be. Here's another one. It's also underpowered and shit, but here, go, have fun.
Yeah. Instead of fixing what we've got, let's throw another broken character in.
Yeah.
So, moving on from that, I want to talk about something that happened in the last week that I thought was interesting, simply in that it seems to be a effect of something that's been happening in game releases. So, the pre-launch beta for Dark Tide came out 2 weeks ago. I've been playing it a lot. It's really good. Would highly recommend the game. It's a lot of fun. Comes out this week. In its 1.0. But I have been playing a lot of the pre-launch beta, sorry. And the game has been getting a lot of negative reviews. And looking into it, it seems to mostly be from people playing the game and thinking that this is what the game is.
Thinking it's a finished product.
Despite the fact that the developer has stated pretty heavily what the pre-launch beta was going to be, what was in it, what they were trying to achieve with it.
Yeah.
And
they made that very clear.
If you've got the game on Steam, whenever it comes up with the next pre-launch beta patch notes, it actually comes up with 0.5, then 0.7, then 0. Like the latest one was 0.8. Yeah. It's wait till the fucking 1.0 launch. Like.
Yeah, and then you can complain about things if you fucking want to.
Because people are complaining about there being like no solo mode, they can't choose any maps they want, a lot of the features aren't there, whereas these descriptions, despite the fact that if you read the patch notes, there's a lot of that information is that, like, this is launch content. That's when you're going to be able to get it. They even
gave a bloody beta roadmap saying we're going to try and add this stuff in on this week and this stuff in on this week, and as we go through these, we're going to add the next thing in so you can say, hey, this is broken or this works. Then we're going to do the next thing. Like, what you should
as
do
betas
in a fucking
go,
beta.
They've orchestrated it fucking great. Like, they've been forward, upfront.
It's the community that's fucking let this beta down.
Yeah. Because this is purely my opinion, and what I think is happening here is because other companies like Activision and EA and a lot of others have diluted what the idea of what a beta is.
Yeah.
So many of them launch so close to the actual start of the game, they're treated just like early access. I get to play it now. Okay, cool. I'm playing the game, but it's still often called a beta.
Yeah.
And this one that's being run by Fat Shark right now is a real beta.
Yeah.
They are using it to get performance information so they can improve their server stability for launch day and catch some of those bugs that they don't know about because, hey, they can't test every fucking hardware.
A beta should be a lot of people going in and stress testing shit and finding those fucking remaining big bugs to fucking fix it so it is decent when it launches.
Like, we've had a fair few, like, the three of us have played, and we ran into a few issues, like, just randomly dropping out and that kind of stuff, and... Like, every time it happens, it's annoying, but at the same time, I send the report on, because it's a beta.
And even that's improved over the course of this beta. Like, they've come out several times that, hey, look, we've fixed this. I'm still getting dropouts every now and again, but nothing like I was in that first week. So they're making improvements, like you should with a fucking beta.
That first week, I couldn't actually get into games. Like, we sat there for, a good hour trying to get that to work, and then, like, eventually we got it working after I played with some settings. But it's like, alright, these things just didn't work. And now they do, because they've updated everything.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is awesome, this is what I wanted. I could just wait until the official release, and jump in and be fine. We have a few friends that are doing that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, I want to play this game. I'm happy to deal with a couple of dropouts every so often.
But, so they've been getting, they were very positive, but as more people jumped in, thinking the game was out. I actually had a friend message me going, is this game released? I see a lot of people playing it and reviewing it. Is it out? And I'm like, no, it's a beta still. It's fine. You've got until the 30th to buy it. But people, it's gone from positive to mixed because, and mostly, as far as I can tell, because people don't understand what betas are anymore.
No.
They're too conflated with early access or just early availability.
Yeah. There needs to be clear of what it is. So, they need to try and unmuddy these fucking waters. Early access needs to say, no, an early access is you're buying it now in this fucking state. If it gets finished and released properly, it does. If it doesn't, then you've still bought it in this fucking state as it is now. A beta is us finding bugs and fixing it before we fully launch it. And then a pre-order release, whatever the fuck it is. Like the latest Call of Duty, 2 weeks before the game releases, you're getting the actual release version of the game. It needs to be clearly fucking stated. So, this is what you're getting. Don't expect that over there. This isn't an early access, this is a beta. We're still fixing shit. Early access, we're still developing shit for it. This is partially still a concept. The final release may not even look like this, or be this at all, if we ever release.
I get the feeling a big part of that was they probably used the word early access a bit, and then realized they were just getting lumped in with all these fucking, asset flip, we're never gonna finish it fucking stuff. And they were like, oh, well, we need to distance ourselves from that. Beta's close enough, so we're gonna start calling them betas. And then I very quickly started being like, dude, this beta is 2 weeks before launch. This isn't a beta. This is you just stress testing.
And you know for a fact it was just the marketing team at some production house going, oh, we'll call it a beta. Guys who don't know what a beta is half the time.
Well,
stop using words you don't know for marketing, please.
A great example of that is Battlefield 2042. They came out with a beta of, we're going to fix all this shit. And everyone who played the beta and then played launch day was like, you did not fix shit. You just launched what you were calling the beta, and it is fucking broken. That's not a fucking beta. Now it's closer to what it should have been a year ago when it actually fucking launched, after you've done a year of content and fixing shit. That, way back then, may have been your fucking beta. I probably would have just called that early fucking access.
Yeah.
There really needs to be a fucking clearer definition, and games held to that fucking definition.
The problem is, I can't think of again, idiot's room.
Oh, yeah.
But I can't think of a good name, like pre-launch access or some bullshit like that. Look, I'm not a marketing guy.
Pre-order access, early access, and
normally it's for people that have pre-ordered the game. Buy it on launch day if you want, but if you want to play this early, it's a pre-order access.
Yeah.
That's the only fucking name I can think of.
like, call something a build edition or something along those. Like, it's still being built. Like,
yeah,
call it that. Build edition for early access, and early access becomes literally you're getting it early. Like, we're gonna let you in the system early.
Or a development release, fucking something. But there needs to be a clearer fucking definition.
I actually think calling it something like a dev build or something like that would actually convey to people a lot more what early access really is.
Replace early access with dev build fucking 0.37, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Because, like, I bought games in that early access stage.
Oh, yeah. I think we all have.
Yeah.
I mean, I slowed down for a while. For a while, I refused to buy anything because I got caught out a couple times. But I'm starting to get a little more okay with it again. But, like, I'm very... Like, we all studied this shit. Yeah. We know kind of what we're getting into when we look at these games and go, look, not all the features are here yet. Yeah, I know. They're going to roll them out. That's how this works. They develop it and they just need cash to keep going. It's fine. I get what I'm buying, but I also have a university degree that taught me what I'm buying.
Yeah. I know how broken this is, and I can see what it could be, but it's got a long fucking way to go there. But at least they're saying, hey, we're working on this. Right up until they just abandon it, and you never hear from it again.
Look, it happens.
Yeah. It does. I got real sick of the survival fucking RPG. Like, I'm not even gonna fucking... If it says survival, I'm going the next fucking game. No.
Same.
See, like, I enjoy those games, but you have to have one that's actually released at this point, because, no.
Yeah.
There's survival, sandbox. They're two genres I've got them blocked on Steam. They just annoy the shit out of me.
I play those games the way that they are not meant to be played. I turn off all the hunger and shit, and I just sit there and build bases. Like, I am that weird Lego kid in the background going, I'm having fun in the sandbox, guys! But everyone else is finding the turds.
So many of them don't even let you do that.
Yeah.
They built them as such an integral part of, like, this is why it's intense to play this game. It's not intense, it's just management.
Yeah. And I need an objective. I need something that I'm like, this is what I'm doing. Chop down 30 trees to get enough wood to build a chair is not a fucking objective. That's just tedium.
Yeah.
I want something to do in this fucking world. Yeah, I just don't like survival games. That's just me.
I'm
if I have anything else to play, I will play the different games. Survival games are like my default thing I go back to. They're like my screensaver as a person. It's like, what are you doing? I'm playing survival games. Like, oh, so you're not doing anything important, come do other things. Like, okay. But like, anytime we play Dark Tide, I'm always playing something beforehand. It's like, oh, look, Dark Tide's happening. Let's go do that now.
But yeah, so there's definitely something I think the games industry needs to work on, because, people doing real betas are getting fucked.
Absolutely.
And it's not okay.
And it's not just the companies that are releasing these, like, even gamers getting fucked over because they're expecting one thing and getting something else because you don't know exactly what you're fucking getting. There's too many names for the same fucking thing.
The weird thing is, like, Dark Tide's been very upfront with the fact that it is a beta and in development and being fixed.
Yeah.
But no one's actually no one's reading it when they go to the store and buy it. They say, oh, it's released. It's like, no, guys, you have to read what you're buying.
Yeah.
Like, when I bought it, I read through the fact it was like a beta and what was going to be there, and I had you guys there as well. It's like, oh, we're doing this now. It only has this, and I was like, oh, let's go. That's fine.
But you got to think, like, a lot of people these days consume media on stuff like Twitch.
Yeah.
And all they see is their favorite Twitch streamer jumping in and playing Dark Tide.
Yeah.
They don't see that I don't know, so I don't want to put any words in anyone's mouth. But it wouldn't surprise me, especially given the pick up and drop sort of mentality of Twitch, that probably a lot of them aren't mentioning that it's a beta.
Yeah.
Or if they did, they mentioned it at the start of the stream, which was 2 hours ago, and no one cares anymore.
But they're also like, there's Twitch drops for shit in Dark Tide. So for skins for certain weapons. So last weekend you could get, I think it was a las gun, and this weekend just gone was a pulse rifle and a fucking sword, and there's another 3 skins you can get next week. So they're actually drawing people in. It's like, oh my god, look, you can play this right now, without saying you can play the beta right now, or you can play the unreleased version of the game. Like, they need to fucking say something.
Yeah.
But that, like, again, it all comes down to, like, how often, as a Twitch streamer, would you have to say it? If it's in the title, are people even reading that? Are they saying it at all? I don't know. I haven't really...
No.
I don't use Twitch very often.
Yeah.
So.
If I was streaming it, anytime you'd find a bug, it would just be reiteration. Like, oh yeah, no, that makes sense. It's a beta.
Yeah.
Like, drum it into people. Because half the time they'll... someone will drop out, it's like, fucking shit, and they'll go off on a tirade the fact they're halfway through, they have to log back in. But they won't mention it's a beta again.
No.
Like, that's the point where you defend the game that you're playing and getting money from, just saying, hey guys, this is a beta.
Yeah.
To be expected. It sucks, but I'm getting back in.
Though, a lot of them also seem to have anger management issues, so it dropped out.
Oh, yeah.
Not just, it dropped out. Fuck, it's a beta, but
Well, I mean, I think it's really good. Like, so many games I play with people, like you guys, I'll drop and that's it, I'm out. I can't get back in. I have to wait until you finish, and then I can come back in and we can try again.
Yeah.
Dark Tide lets you rejoin an active match.
Yeah. It comes straight up with, would you like to continue your previous match? Fucking yes, I would. Thank you.
I would like to go and annoy these Muppets again. Thank you. And like add you back to the fire team. It does everything again for you.
Yeah. It's great. Like, and I think that's amazing.
So even if you have these dropouts, you can get straight back into it.
And that's not normally a feature you'll find in betas. That's normally a patch, like, a few weeks after release.
That's not a feature you find in a lot of full release.
No, it isn't. And it's a feature that should be in a lot of fucking games like this.
Yeah. Especially for multiplayer-focused ones.
Fucking oath.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Left 4 Dead did, and it's essentially the archetypical version of this game type.
Yeah.
The horde shooter with a co-op focus.
Did Vermintide do it?
I don't think so. I don't believe it did.
I'm pretty sure
Vermintide once... Yeah, and you had to wait till the mission was over and rejoin.
Yeah. So...
But, yeah.
More power to them. I really hope it
essentially
goes well.
Fat Shark's doing good. I can't wait for version 1.0.
It's the community that's fucking them over.
Yeah. Oh, look, I wouldn't say they're fucking them over, but like more people pointing it out, I think, is what needs to happen. People need
if you look at all the reviews, like if you jump onto Steam and look at the reviews, anytime someone puts up things like, "Oh, it's this shit," most of the responses to it are like, "Yeah, it's a fucking beta."
Right.
So there are some people just trolling through those kind of things, just making sure people realize you're an idiot. This is what it's meant to be at the moment.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I will admit, this is research I did like earlier in the week when it had a very mixed review score. So it may have improved by now.
Possibly.
I'll jump on the stop page real quick and I'll tell you what it's... Yeah, it's back up to mostly positive again.
Yeah. So there wasn't a flood of Twitch children going through, "This is shit," and then being blasted by, "It's a beta, you're an idiot."
If after actual release, then there's still a lot of fucking broken issues, sure, put it down to mixed. Like, then valid complaints going through, but until then, fuck off.
Yeah, until it's actively released, we can't really complain. At the moment, we're getting it ahead of time.
Or, like, in the Steam reviews, like, at the top of each one of those, like, as it says, receive game for free, or whatever it is, it should say, for beta version, or something.
No, it does. It says pre-release review.
Yeah.
On all of the reviews that are on it right now.
But that still doesn't say if it's a beta, if it's an early access, or if it's a fucking pre-order fucking early pre-order
that is fair,
release. So it should say in that. It really should say beta. Like, it doesn't need to say which version of a beta, because they've done several versions over the last couple of weeks.
Yes.
But it would help to say, this is for the beta release of this game, so I'm having a shitty time. Well, you played a fucking beta, idiot. Like, I'm having a shitty time. Well, it's an early access game. You get what you fucking pay for.
Fuck off for a couple of weeks and come back, see if it's changed.
Yeah. See if it's been fixed, see if it's been patched.
Yeah.
I think that could be something that Steam could do to at least wake people up reading these reviews going, oh, fuck, okay, it is a beta.
Like, we bitch about Overwatch a lot, but that's released.
Yeah.
Like, we're bitching about it because they've released a game that is broken and fucking buggy. It's like, we now have a valid complaint because you put this out there. You said, we're done! It's like, you weren't done, guys. This should have been an alpha of some kind.
Like, the same thing happened with Battlefield. I still play quite a bit of Battlefield 2042. I enjoy it. It's just a guilty fucking pleasure. But that game should not have been released. It should have kept for at least a year, preferably 2, with a lot of fucking playtesting. I have
one review here, one negative review. that I think kind of exemplifies exactly what I'm talking about. This is a beta. This is from a couple days ago. Game is not ready. Frequent crashes, frame drops, and screen freezes. Playing on a high-end PC. Also super frustrating. Successfully completing 2 out of 10 missions because some pleb thinks it's clever to join a mid-tier match. He's bitching about people just joining games.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're in a beta, it's getting better, and if you'd played the whole beta, you'd know it was getting better.
And
you're bitching about the player base.
This game shouldn't have been released. Well, it's not, you dickhead.
Yeah.
It fucking muppet. Yet.
Are there any responses to it?
Give me a second, I'll have a quick look, you see. It's like a player by scrolled away from it. I don't think I can see if it has responses.
Either way, fuck.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be something done about. Like,
yes.
I don't even know where you go to fucking say, "Hey, dickheads, you need to fucking fix something." Like, I don't know if there's a Steam forum where you can say, "Suggest this fucking thing, fix shit."
It would have to be the publishers and that kind of thing. Just you'd have to get them to turn around their marketing, and they've muddied the waters on purpose. They've done this for a reason, and then you'd have to go to the actual audience, which is us, the gamers, and remind people, going, guys, a beta is not the same as a pre-release. It is not the same as other things, and just get it out there. But
on Steam, before, like, in games that are in early access, it comes up with a big blurb saying, this is an early access title, and it does do a write-up of that, which I think is really fucking good. Yeah. But it needs to do the same thing for a beta, or a pre-release fucking whatever. Like, just for clarity, say you buy this at your own fucking risk.
I mean, like, I was honestly expecting, because, like, in my Steam account, I actually have Darktide, and I have Darktide Beta Client from the open beta they did, like, a month ago. I was expecting to have to load the beta client, not the main game. And I was expecting to have to launch the main game after it released. That would have probably helped a bit so that it's like very clearly you're playing the beta client. You're not playing Dark Tide.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a whole pile of woulda, shoulda, couldas at this point.
Yeah, but also...
Overall, my point simply being this topic needs to be cleared up.
Yeah, but in doing it that way, like, this game... The game itself fully releases next week, I think it is. So,
no, it's this week.
Oh, this week, sorry.
2 days.
Nice. Yeah, it comes out on Wednesday. No, Australia time, it'll come out Thursday.
But they are doing this beta real fucking close to the actual release. Like, they could have done a lot of this patchwork. Like, when they did the closed beta, they could have done this beta then and had a closed beta fucking before that. And that would have fucking helped, instead of being so close to the release time. And done it through the beta client. Because then, by the time we got to actual release and people were downloading the actual client for the game, fuck, here's the actual game I'm getting. Not, alright, this is coming through the official thing. Like, yeah, I think you could have done that a lot fucking better. At least then you download the actual game. Oh my god, here it is. Not just, okay, I'm downloading bits of the game as it's being patched right up until release day.
Yeah. That's fair too.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we round out this episode giving some shit to Mercedes?
Yeah. I'm all for this.
So this is absolutely the dumbest thing I've seen in fucking ages. Because we've seen some microtransaction stuff cropping up in cars. I'm gonna just jump in before Dan jumps off on it again. Yes, we understand that you can pay to have more battery in your Tesla, and if you take it in to get fixed, you have to pay that fee again.
It's dumb. It's fucking dumb.
And and there was another one that you had to pay to activate seat warmers.
Yeah, BMW.
Which
subscription for your fucking seat warmers.
But at least these are things where they're bullshit. Don't get me wrong. I'm not defending them, but at least they were something.
Yeah,
Mercedes wants you to pay $1,200 a year to go from 0 to 60 faster. This increase is only of between 0.8 and 1 second.
Yeah. Like,
it's not even significant.
No, it's not. It's a large transaction for a micro product. It's not fucking worth it.
It's barely even a micro product. At least if I lived in somewhere like England, or, I don't know, some fucking snowy country. My brain kept saying Alaska. At least I could understand, like, okay, I'll pay you a little extra because I want my ass to be toasty.
Yeah.
I can see a realm where that product is something that someone could want. To go slightly faster to 60? Fucking serious right now? And for $1,200 a year, it's not a one-off payment. It's a subscription.
Yeah.
To get a 1 second increase in your speed output. What?
I mean, I know there's at least one country who's doing that. No, if it's in the fucking car, you're not paying a subscription for it. If the hardware's in there, you don't get to charge a subscription. You get everything in the car. I think it's the EU, but I can't remember where.
That sounds like an EU thing.
Yeah. But, like, it's fucking screwy, and there is no fucking reason for it. Like, no. There's
a reason for it. Money.
Yeah, well, there's no real-world reason for actual consumers to want to have this at all.
There's
like,
no
it should be fucking there. Like, sure, you might need the extra burst of speed if you're trying to go around something, but if that amount, like 0.8 to 1 second, is the difference of you getting around that fucking truck, you shouldn't have gone around that fucking truck. Maybe you should wrap yourself around that fucking tree.
Pretty much. Like, it's fucking idiotic, and I don't know how they thought this was going to be okay.
No, I don't. At least BMW sold you something you could want.
Yeah.
A toasty bunghole. Yay.
Completely useless in Australia, but other places that are cold don't like it.
In Australia, we'd want seat coolers, because, like, you get into a car in Australia, and you've got to be careful with that branding iron we call a seatbelt.
Though, I tell you, if I could get into a car and put a six-pack on the passenger seat and that fucker's cold by the time I get to a destination, I would pay for that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, currently the only reason to get seat warmers in Australia is to keep the pizza warm.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, that's the only reason you'd have them. Like,
my mother's car has seat warmers in it. That's literally the only time it's ever been turned on in the entire time she's owned it. Like, I got pizza in the passenger seat, turn it on high.
Yeah. But even then, it's like, we live in Australia, it's like, depending on what day it is, you can put the pizza outside and cook it.
Yeah.
Very true. Just throw it out in the driveway. She'd be right. But I am curious, like, if anyone goes through and, like, I'm sure with these fucking electric vehicles, you can't take it to the mechanic down the road. You got to take it back to fucking Mercedes.
Yeah.
Because they don't want the fucking mechanic to do anything with it. But in the end, are you going to have to pay for this? Like, if you get a new engine in it, well, you're already fucking paying for it again every fucking year. Yeah. But if you're halfway through a year and your engine breaks and you get a new fucking engine put in, do you have to put the new fucking subscription again?
What if they put you on a subscription and it doesn't actively take? Like, the firmware update you needed for the phone doesn't kick in. How would you know?
Yeah.
How would you actually check to make sure you are getting that extra 1 second?
I really want to know, if I'm driving along and I put my car in aeroplane mode, do I keep that and I get to fly?
Is the DRM installed in the car? Is it de novo?
That's what the 0.8 to 1 second fucking delay is. It's to remove de novo from your vehicle.
It just turns off de novo. That's all it does. What was the other thing with Brazil we had to talk about?
Yes, the other thing we were going to chat about was Brazil has started seizing iPhones because Apple won't sell them with chargers anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, Apple decided to fuck around, now they're finding out.
Pretty much. I mean, they're already finding out as well with the European Union, going like, no, it's one charger for everything. Come on, guys, come to the table. But fine. But we won't be happy about it.
No, come to our iTable. Embrace lightning.
So I swear to God, I hate Apple.
So Brazil gave Apple, I think it's 2 years to have a charger come with all of their phones. I think it came out with they were told with that when the 11 came out, by the time the 12 came out, they had all the chargers.
Yeah.
And that came and went, and nothing really happened. And now they're going, well, we gave you plenty of fucking chance. So they've been pulled from general carrier stores, authorized Apple resellers, so they literally just went in there and just took phones out of the Apple store. Fuck you, Jack, we're doing it. And so they've done it. They've pulled every iPhone from the shelves. Like,
they made good on that fucking promise. They
fucking
did well.
Sort of. That you can still buy iPhones in Brazil, the new ones that got taken, but like it's circled stock. Like there's new stuff coming in, which is what they're selling. But all this stock did get taken. It's fucking nuts.
Like all they had to do was tape a fucking charge to the side of the case.
Yeah,
just a bit of fucking brown packing tape. Just wrap. There you go. There's your charger with it. Like it already comes with the USB. Like all they needed was the fucking wall plug.
Yeah, but all these guys, like, this is the same company that's trying to charge, like, $300 for a fucking monitor stand.
Yeah.
You can't buy a monitor with a stand now. You have to pay $300 to get one that attaches to it. And, of course, it's got a proprietary fucking mount, so you can't use anything else.
It's not a VESA mount like everybody else.
Like, I swear to God, like, Apple has built a gated community where their people just see them as a god.
Yeah.
Like, almost cult-like to followers for it. It's weird.
Yeah. Very much so.
But even, like, I think John was saying before, it was the fact that they're going to USB-C, but they're gonna have their own fucking, encryption on the brick.
On the charger. Yeah. They'll have something
only their charger will work.
Like, they already say only use authorized chargers because of a third-party charger may not charge your phone correctly or may cause damage to your phone. Like, come on. Like, really?
The fun thing is
with
that,
dick.
The only chance of a third-party charger causing damage to your phone is because they've put some software on there to damage your phone if it finds a third-party charger. That's the only time it's going to cause anything. Unless you're shoving a wire directly into your phone, it's fine. Hell, half of them are slower charging because they ramp the usage down so they don't do that.
Yeah. Maybe they should just start sticking forks in outlets and hanging on. Like pricks.
Anyway, on that, we're out past an hour. So, I think we're done for the week.
Yep.
Yeah, the anger is flowing today.
There were other topics that would have made us a lot fucking angrier, so...
Oh, yeah, no,
we're gone with the lesser of evil.
We're not going there. We're
really not.
We're all very bitter squirrels today.
Alright, guys. Y'all have a good one.
Bye.
See ya.